Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back once again. It's your boy Big Willie Styles. Wise Man Cast is real in the building. Dynasty Sports Network. Hey, fellas, how y'all feeling today, man? Wise Man, what's the word, bro?
I am very happy to be here. Y'all,
It
please
sounds
gotta
like it.
excuse my voice, man. We was having a ball at the game, and
Hey, listen, y'all gonna have
big
to
fella ain't
excuse
got no voice.
all our voices, man, because it got crazy yesterday down at Ford Field, man. It was loud, it was rocking, man. It's real, man. You got your TV, you got your tea going or something, man. What's up, man? You kind of quiet over there.
Yeah, man, I'm holding it down, man. Today a chill day, bro.
It's definitely a chill day, but it's actually a great day because we got some NFL, some NCAA football. We got a lot of stuff going on right now, man. It's that season. The season is among us, man. So let's jump it off, man. We gonna talk about this Lions opening night, man. The experience. Now, me, of course, Wise Man, and I got real here. We was partaking in all the festivities yesterday, starting early with some tailgating and just enjoying the atmosphere around Fort Field, down, or all around, Easter Market and going back and forth. So I want you guys to go ahead, just share with the audience, what you guys' experience was yesterday while we were preparing for Fort Field. I'm going to start with you, Wise Man.
Everything was dope, man. We got downtown around 12:45. Then it was an all-day event. We went out to Eastern Market. It was some crazy stuff going on over there at first. They had it all blocked off and stuff, but they finally got it open with about 3:30. And then, like, man, everybody and their mama was down there. Great time, great food. Shout out to the Turkey Man, man. Listen, that what you call that food truck? Fire. Whenever y'all see the Turkey Man downtown, make sure y'all grab something from me. And then the game itself, man, it was electric. And like I said, we was loud, and that's why I don't have a voice right now. But I had a damn good time yesterday.
Yeah, good time. Real, what's up, man? What's your experience like?
Man, it just feel good to be a part of a championship esque ball club, sports town, whatever you want to call it, man. It's just different, man. The buzz in the air, the people was coming out early. Like I said, like bro said, we was out there early, man. But we wasn't the only ones. And then, the city tried to get a jump on it too. They had extra security and top flight security out there blocking off all the usual spots where everybody like to go tailgate. It was crazy. We couldn't believe it. But I think it was a testament to just the new norm in this city, man. Like get used to having, a quality ball club that can represent us, man. That was my biggest take, man, for sure, as far as pregame, bro.
Yeah, for me, it was like everything, The first off, the weather was beautiful yesterday. It was
Awesome.
perfect weather for all activities going forth. Just the energy from morning to the evening, everything was a great experience. Being around, surrounded by, I won't say all your people, because everybody, love the Detroit Lions, and they just been waiting for these moments because they've been, folks been doing the tailgating for years, but now you're doing it with a purpose now that, your team is going in and everybody's picking them to go far, and a lot of people are picking them for the Super Bowl. So it's a excitement throughout the city that people are coming in. Even, we got a lot of new old fans, I would say, that's coming back around. I am not gonna say that, I'm not the ones to be like, where were you when we was all, because we all was in the same place when the Lions was terrible, just waiting for them to come up. And now that they're here, we're gonna celebrate them. And that's what the atmosphere was like yesterday. Us just sitting there, in the parking lot in our little lounge chairs, kicking it, there was a couple brats, some dogs, some beers, and just being able to sit there and enjoy and just be able to speak with other people, other, different, ethnicities all around, have the same camaraderie when it comes to, this sport, and that's a good thing. It brings, to me, I feel like it brings out the best of people. You don't see, in most cases, black and white, brown, whatever. You just see a group of sports fanatics, that roots for their team. So it was definitely a great experience, and we definitely will be doing it more throughout the year. In which, you know, what we're going to do is we're going to start documenting it and going live and letting y'all see what we see while we're down there, so y'all can experience. But also, we want to hear from you all as well in regards to your experience if you was down there. So anybody that's in the live right now, you know, we did put the link in the live. So if you want to hop in, we'll let you come in and give your experience and your take on, you know, going on with the opening day, and let us know how that went for you. In the meantime, you know, being that we had the experience and all, we got to talk about the game, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Lions versus the Rams.
Yes, sir.
With the overtime win yesterday, 26-20, and a back and forth thriller, if you would say. Real. You gotta let me know, man. What was your mind and your heart like going through that first half, second half, overtime?
Man, roller coaster, man. Roller coaster. First half, we was on them, we was stepping on them, we was dominating. The offense couldn't move. Had turnover on downs, and of course we ended the first half with the interception. But just domination, pure domination first half. And then going into the third, I was sick we went 3 and out because we had the ball, and I'm like, come on, we scored before we went in, we stopped them. You want to come in the second half, you want to be able to put them points on the board. But we did, and we went 3 and out, but then we forced the 3 and out and got the ball back. So it was almost the same as if we would have just came out in the second half and scored. So that was cool, up 17-3. I feel like from that moment on, man, the play calling was just shoddy at best, man. I didn't understand it. I was banging on the wall. I'm standing on the rails and banging on the wall. Run the damn ball, run the ball. You know, I couldn't believe that we won Smash Mouth, because I feel like what we did in that overtime and what we did in that last possession regulation, I feel like we should have been doing that the whole second half, especially once you up 17-3. Like, there is no other style of ball other than Smash Mouth when you got a 2-score lead with the ball. Like, I didn't understand that, but I digress. I give my boy Ben Johnson the benefit of the doubt. You know, a lot of times, from the fans' perspective, and especially when it's live, and shout out to King, because he always say that he much rather watch games at home because he get to see everything versus when you're there. Like, it's a lot that you miss. You can't watch the whole field at one time. You know, I guess we don't realize when you watch it on TV, you watch that box, you get to see everything in one box. Mm-hmm. But when you live, man, there's so much going on. People next to you, the whole field, you got so much going on. You miss a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we jump on our players' backs and we say, well, the play calling was shoddy, but you know, somebody might have missed the assignment, somebody might have missed the block, somebody might have missed the read. Like, it be little, small, intricate details that you're not able to see with the naked eye. Mm-hmm. And stuff like that can ruin drives. And you sitting there pissed off that the play calling ain't right, when actually they might have had the perfect play, but somebody might have screwed it up along the way. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough watching it live. It's fun, but man, it don't beat watching. It's definitely right.
So it's like basically you have to go home and rewatch it just to get the breakdown of exactly what it is that you missed. Why? Because there was a lot of things, like you said, that we missed, you know, visually wise, because we're not able to get up close because the way we were standing. And then like you see things like, why didn't he do this and why didn't he do that? But see, now I see when we get home and I'm watching it again, like, oh, okay, that's what happened. But you get to piece the thing together. It makes it a little more fun too. Wise man.
Go ahead.
Where's my background music at, man? I don't hear my background, my jam playing.
Is this playing?
Okay, I can't hear it. All right, it's all good. But yeah, man. Like I said, we look like we didn't play in the preseason. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, we have to take into consideration that we were using practices as preseason games or game time situations. So we came out and we looked rusty on both sides of the ball. The offensive line didn't seem like they didn't start getting kind of cohesion until that fourth quarter going into overtime, to where they finally got a chance to wear them young bulls down. They got up front, and they was getting on their ass after that. But then big shout out to J-Mo, man. J-Mo came ready to play football today. Yesterday, I should say. He, was open, didn't drop shit, explosive, was blocking. Like, he did a hell of a job, man.
And Wiseman, it's been leading up to this point. They've been lot of the guys have been saying, like, listen, it's finally clicking for him.
Yep.
And he finally had his breakout game. He said, in his press conference that was his first game ball ever.
That's unbelievable, man. That's crazy.
It's definitely unbelievable. So yeah, he definitely had a breakout, game yesterday. What people would expect to see from St. Brown, which it was a little different not seeing him getting involved as much as he was, but the flow of the game was different yesterday, in my opinion. Like you said, I agree with you on that one, Wise man. In regards to, you can see the rust on the guys coming out. The offense wasn't flowing efficiently. Play calling seemed a little bit iffy, and even Dan Campbell, it was a couple fourth downs where we usually used to him going for it. He started to punt away, so it was a lot going in there, and it was one of the games where the Rams could have and almost stole the game, because we were up 2 scores and possibly could have broke the game open, but we just never took the took the reins and allowed them to stick around. And of course, you got turnovers in there. It flipped the outcome, and with that, that adversity, it calls for something for us to be able to bounce back, not allow that, turnover and the points to come about to get us down, not get us out of the game. Because for one, they marched down and got the 3 points to get into overtime, and then when overtime came around, they say, "Listen, playtime's over." Smash mouth football.
It was just like they turned on the switch, and all that shit they should have been doing the whole game finally showed up right there. So,
it did.
Yeah.
And it showed how wore down that Rams defense was, because they was getting pushed all the way back that whole drive. Ain't wasn't nothing to do they could stop them.
Yes, sir.
Not at all. Especially after the defense for that 3, and then we win the coin toss and get the ball. Like, that defense ain't want to come back out there.
Oh, no.
And then after that first big run, they was really defeated because they knew what was next.
Yeah, and it looked that way, and they had to call timeout before the game-winning score, just to get the guys some rest, because our offensive line was showing why they are the best group in the NFL. So I want to ask you fellas this, outside of J-Mo, whom else stood out to you guys? I'm gonna go ahead and jump with you, Real. Who stood out to you in this game yesterday?
Brian Branch, man. They was right, man. Just keep him on the field, bro. Brian Branch was everywhere, and he was rusty too. He showed a lot of rust, which was to be expected. BB wasn't able to, practice a lot with us. He was limited in practice through most of camp, so he hadn't got a lot of reps under his belt. But like Coach said before, he was getting reps last year. A lot of people didn't know that. He was getting a lot of reps in practice last year back there, but he was still just flying all over the place. Had a tackle for loss. He had 3 PBUs, and 2 out of the 3, if not all 3 of them, could have been interceptions.
Right.
He was a little late on a couple tackles. He even overran a tackle or 2, but just that aggressiveness and that just heat-seeking missile back there is like, you can't duplicate that, bro. We only got one Brian Branch, bro, and he was everywhere, bro. He stayed in the backfield. He was super active. Like I said, he was super sticky too, man. Brian Branch definitely was one of the guys that stood out for me on defense. On offense, Kevin Zeitler, man. Zeitler and Nick Panay on that right. If you go back and you watch the game-winning drive in overtime,
they ran
heavy. And every time you watch the highlight, you see Zeitler moving people around, just mauling him and Panay, just mauling, man. Just nasty work, bro. Just brutal. I'm talking about just whipping them boys, just whipping them, bro. It wasn't even fair. Like, it was a joy to watch, and you could just see D-Mont just feeding. He fed off that play when he got to the 10-yard line, 11-yard line, and he turned the 3-4 yard gain into 9 yards.
Yeah.
But I wish we stick to the script, man. If we can stick to the script and just start just whipping these teams, just beating up on them and wearing them down, and then we can do what we want to do after that. Let's not wait to the end of the game to get on that. Like, we need to That's how we need to start every game and stick to it until they bring all 11 in the box. Then we can go over the top of the table.
Right. So, and like you said, a lot of it is, them, breaking themselves out themselves. Like, you got to get everybody to knock that rust off. So, Wise man, who stood out to you, my brother?
I'm going to go Alex Anzalone, man.
Yes.
Calzone. Calzone, I'm going to respect him and call him Anzalone today. Normally, I just call him Calzone because, anyway. But, yeah, he had a hell of a game, man. Buddy was everywhere, filling gaps, running up, smacking shit. Like, it was good to see it. It's just like he finally gets it, The game is even slowing down for him, even though he's like in his 8th season or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So he just seen it a lot better. And then, too, that goes to testament to the guys up front. You can't fly around like that if them boys up front ain't doing their job. And that run game in check. And what the Rams was doing to get us out of whack was doing a whole lot of motion and running a shit ton of quick outs, And
I was getting motion sickness yesterday, man. Watching that going back and forth.
I was getting so pissed. I'm like, man, there's a quick out right, quick out left, like all up and down the field. Like, dude, jump the quick out, like make them do something else. But yeah, outside of that, and like I said, on offense, we didn't shine too bright. Like I said, outside of J-Mo, it was kind of like a stale night for guys. Gibbs, he had a couple of good ones. But then, like I said, to me, in the fourth quarter and overtime, that's when the offensive line came to life, man, and it was just straight up and down bully ball.
Most definitely. So for me, who stood out? Of course, you got to give J-Mo his props for him showing up and showing out. Hutchinson, he was relentless. Yesterday, got a couple of penalties. It was questionable in regards to that, but he caused a lot of penalties, and there was a lot of penalties that should have been called, but they let it go. Kirby Joseph, our guy.
Got about Kirby.
He's always around the ball, making plays, getting interception. And that interception in the end zone stayed the game at that point.
It did.
So we got to give a shout out to Kirby Joseph in the way he's playing. And as well as I give a standout to Montgomery. I mean, we started with him. I'm saying? I believe between quarters, we didn't see a lot of him. But when it was time to call on him, he was fresh. Yep. And you seen it in that overtime, how fresh he was. They could not bring him down. And what he did in overtime solidified and called the game for us. So shout out to Montgomery, Hutchinson, J-Mo, Kirby. Offensive wise, like you guys said, it was lagging yesterday. We could see it. Play calling, the players, it wasn't there, but that just comes from them guys haven't played all together in over a month or so, outside of joint practices and all of that. We didn't get to see that. So hopefully they knock the rust out, get that feeling back going, and then go into next week. Now, before we talk about who we playing next week, Wise man, why don't you get some shout outs, man?
Shout out to everybody that's in the chat rocking with us right now. Shout out to K Ain't Press. Shout out to Tobit, our guy. What's going on? Shout out to our boy DC. What up, though? And just shout out to working with us today, man. So if you're here, please feel free to say something in the chat, ask a question. Please like, share, and let's keep it going. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with us.
Most definitely appreciate y'all. So like I said, we got the link in the chat. So if anybody want to come in and give us their experience yesterday, because we share and we like to hear from our people as well in regards to the experience yesterday, because this definitely was a great and grand experience. I hope that we be able to experience this for years to come, especially with this winning culture that we're partaking in right now. So we're gonna continue that winning culture coming up next week, which we will be facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is basically same way we ended the season last year. We're beginning the season with the second team we played in the playoffs in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now they did win their game against the Commanders. So, Real, I want you to give your take on what the expectations for you for next week going against Tampa Bay.
Man, we gotta come to play up front, man. Baker is a decent quarterback, and if you can ruffle his feathers and you can crowd them, block his sight lines. He's a little dude. He's not a big 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" quarterback that can see over the offensive line and can deliver down the field. Like, he needs sight lines, which means we got to be in his face at all time. They got a decent run game, but they was playing finesse in the run game yesterday. They was dumping the ball off more to my man than they was lining up and pounding it, but they're not built like that. They're not built to endure what we can do. But at the same time, we got to control the line of scrimmage, man, because they got weapons. And Godwin is finally healthy, and he looks good. You got Big 13, consistency, Mr. Consistency. He going to do the same thing regardless. You could just pencil in his yards every season because you know what he brings to the table. So we got to make sure that Baker don't get to his weapons. It is crucial that we stay in his face, man. We have to collapse the pocket. We have to be stout up front. The game starts and ends up front. Because if you give Baker too much time and he get to dancing and doing all that cute shit back there, he got plenty of weapons to deliver that rock to. So I think that's going to be the key to that game is making sure we disruptive up front. I feel like if we disruptive up front, we down there can win every game on the schedule if we disruptive up front because the offense is going to be steady Eddie. But the defense is always the measuring stick of how far this team going to go. And I think that's more important this year than ever because of the investments that we made in the secondary and bringing in guys like Davenport and keeping guys around that like our boy that we missed last week that's coming back, and we got DJ. Like we got to cash in on the Reader because that's why we got him, man, for games like this. You feel me? So if we can cash in on our investments on defense and the offense stay steady, Eddie, man, to me, that's going to be the same formula for whipping everybody in the league. That's in front of us on the schedule.
Wise man.
I'm the same, man. We've got to control up front. And, we were at training camp, and we've seen how fast this team can improve week to week and day to day, and for that matter. So I feel like they'll take, everything that they did yesterday. They're going to, get in the film room and they're going to figure it out. And I think Ben Johnson's going to call a more aggressive game. It's just kind of like, all right, let's see what we got. You know what I'm saying? It was like a boxing match. You just trying to line up everything. Okay, cool. This is what we need to work on. So then going forward, where they need to get better at. And like Zell say, man, you got to stay in Baker's face. You can't sit there and let him cook. That's any quarterback we play, though. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, this guy got weapons everywhere. 13, he's a 50-50 jump ball. I mean, that's damn near money every time. You know what I'm saying? And Godwin, he's fast, and then they're doing a lot more of their running back. So it's going to be important for us to control the game. Let's get that run game going. Let's get Saint more involved, which I feel like they're going to do because he's going to be pissed off about the game he had. But, yeah, outside of that, man, I feel like it's going to be a lot better. I feel like we're going to look way better. I say 31-21 final.
Oh, that's a good score. Yeah, for me, I the adjustment for one, the time of the game. So the night game was a little different because you sitting around waiting all day. That can drain you and make you a little different. Than what you're all day
for a Sunday night.
So being able to play earlier, we already got the jitters out the way from the first game. I feel like it's going to be a more fluid game than what we had. Putting pressure on Mayfield. That's the main key. You put pressure on him, he makes mistakes. That's been his whole career. We seen it last year when we were in the playoffs. So when you put the pressure on him, he's liable to make mistakes. He's still turnover prone. He got the escapability. He got the ability to make the plays down the field when he's able to get out the pocket, and that's something that we got to be able to control. Because he has the weapons in Goodwin and Evans. And like you said, Evans being a big body, he's still, a high caliber wide receiver that we got to account for, as well as, the run game also. Defensive wise, they still have some solid, on that defensive side. There's a great defensive coordinator over there. So controlling the line of scrimmage is definitely going to be important next week. I think we can control the line of scrimmage and get the run game going early, which would set up the play action for the Laportas and the Browns and open up the top with J-Mo. This game could either be a close game or it could be a blowout.
For sure.
we have the capability because if you watch the game this past Sunday, it was getting there. The second half where we had an opportunity to blow it open, we could have took their hearts then, but we didn't. And I think that's something that as a Super Bowl contender, we got to get used to taking these teams' hearts early when we have the chance and not let them linger around. The Rams is a much good team. They're a playoff team. So is the Bucks. So we got to treat them like such, and we know that we're going to get the best from them. So we got to play our best as well.
And two, real quick. Oh, my bad. And real quick, man, October brought up a good point, man. Shout out Jake Bates, man. For your first NFL game, G, you didn't miss
There you go.
You was really out there like a fucking pro, like you've been doing it, man. So shout out Jake Bates.
Another quick thing too. I'm interested to see, based on what we put on tape last night, I'm interested to see how the rest of the league reacts to game planning against us now. And it starts with Tampa Bay. And what I mean by that is the Los Angeles Rams spent an entire offseason saying, how do we defend the Detroit Lions? The same team that just whooped our ass a few months ago. How do we stop that offense? And they decided that we're going to crowd the middle and we're going to bracket Laporta and we're going to bracket Saint. And we'll see if they can beat us like that.
Right.
Well, we beat y'all ass while y'all bracketed our two best receivers. Yeah. We still whooped that ass. Now, we just showed you more weapons. So now, how does these coaching staffs, how do they game plan for us now? You gonna pick your poison? What we doing?
That's a scary. Listen, that's a scary sight. And you know, one of them receivers is gonna come up this week, whether it be Allen Robinson or whether it be Patrick. So shit, that's just gonna add another dimension to the team that ain't nobody ever seen. Because now you're gonna have J-Mo who can stretch the field. You're gonna have Saint that can, do all his underneath stuff. And now you got
the big body receiver that we
50, you know what I'm saying? We can take more shots. So it's gonna get scary, man.
And also on the defensive side, adding on that the big acquisition in the offseason in DJ Reader. And also, I got to give a shout out, to Lee McNeil. He was working his ass off. He was everly so close every time. And that's what you need. Pressure up the middle.
Yeah.
The pressure up the middle caused Stafford a couple times not to be able to get that pass out there. Because Stafford, to be honest with you, he was killing yesterday.
Yes, sir.
He was doing what Stafford's been doing all, majority of his career. He's not a slouch. The way he controlled that offense, man, and some of the passes that he threw out there, we've seen before. So we know what he's capable of. And the fact that we, got enough pressure on him to be able to turn that game where we need to was definitely a plus. So I'm looking forward to see that because Mayfield is not Stafford, especially when it comes to throwing and being accurate. Now, he can get it going when he got a clean pocket. But you put pressure on him and have him throwing on a run, that's a different story. And that's something that we need to do. And I think we will. Like I said, that, the front seven yesterday was good. I think our defense was on the field a little bit too much yesterday, which, is not their fault. Like I said, there were some plays that they let happen, which will. But if our offense controlled the clock more and controlled possession more, they would have had time to rest, and it would have been a different outcome for our defense. So shout out for the defense, and I think they're really going to show up next week to the game. And honestly, I'm feeling like it's I feel like it's going to be like a low scoring blowout to me type.
Okay.
more like a 30-10 type of thing. Cause I don't know, as long as we don't make like I said, there was a couple of big plays this past week, just based off of little trips ups and mistakes. If we clean that up, the Rams wasn't scoring like that, and I don't think the Bucks is going to score like that. So I see it being another victory. So I want you guys in the comment sections, let us know what y'all think. How next week is going to be. If y'all want to post what y'all scores will be, go ahead and post it in the chat. Shout out to my guy Big A. He is in California right now. He was watching the game in California yesterday, rooting for the D. So shout out to my guy out there in Cali right now. We appreciate you, man. So with that being said, listen, we're gonna take a quick break. We come back on the sideline. We'll probably check on a couple of the other NFL games. We got an NFL game going right now, and then we're gonna talk to NCAA. Of course, we got to talk about our beloved Wolverines and what happened Saturday. Oh man.
Wow.
Hey, listen. we're no longer undefeated no more, guys. That's just the way it is. But you know,
That didn't last long.
Didn't last long, but we got to take our medicine. So we discuss that in other topics on the other side of the break.
Wow, black-owned shoe store. Culture. My culture, though. Let's see what they talking about in here. What's up, little dog? You good? Y'all got something here for me? I'm talking about exclusive. They got all the dunks? How many dunks they got? Something like these. Y'all got a little vibe in here. They buying shoes, selling shoes, sleep. It feels like the culture. They dunking on people. Oh, they doing TikTok. They looking out for the kids. Oh, man, this is great, man. Oh, they got all the races working here. It just really feels like culture. You looking for a black-owned shoe store to get some real drip at? Come up here to Culture Detroit, man. That's what the streets been missing. Welcome home, fam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is Culture Detroit, located on Avenue of Fashion, 19327 Livernois. You see it in the background. And we got the part owner of Culture Detroit. That's our guy, Israel. I'm going to let him give you the spiel. My brother, go ahead and tell him about it.
Culture Detroit, where fashion, film, art, music, and sports live under one roof. Welcome home, fam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your premier #1 source for all things culture, man. At Culture Detroit, man. Come holler at your boys.
Yes, please come holler at your boy, man. Get you some that drip, they say. Yes, sir. Yes, Marvin, tell them get them likes up, man. Like, subscribe. Tell your peoples we on right now. We need to hear from y'all, the naysayers, the player haters, everybody. We want everybody to come in, man, because we're gonna have a ball here. Now, before I get into college, I know we talk about what's going on in the NFL, but I want to touch on the Tyreek Hill situation. Now, Everybody know yesterday that he got detained. The video footage of him being, brushed on the ground and being, put in handcuffs. Today, they released the body cam footage, and it's actually, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, it was as worse as people thought it was. And if you watch that, man, it's hard to get into those types of conversations, and watching that, and it puts you in a type of hysteria because that type of stuff happens often outside of those who are not celebrities, who are not ball players, have to deal with those type of situations of which we're the ones as the civilians have to de-escalate these cops. And when they escalate the situation and then we have to get rattled, now we're at fault. Now we're getting arrested. Now we got to deal with the courts. Now it's our word against their word. And thankfully, there was body cam footage to see how aggressive and unnecessary tactics that was used against this man yesterday. And I'm saying I'm thankful for it, but I'm glad that it somewhat happened to somebody like him that is considered a celebrity or a figure, that they were able to release this information sooner. Because body cam, usually when they do investigation, we probably would have had to wait weeks on down the road, but they immediately showed because they know it was going to be a firestorm, man. But I want to touch on it a little bit because, like I said, it's a touchy subject, of course, but dealing with that and being that, we are men of color, this is the type of topics that we deal with often. So, Wise Men and Real, man, I don't know if you guys caught, the video or the body cam, but I want to get you guys feel on when you heard the news and you seen that, what was going through you fellas' mind?
I was just more so like, man, I hope he wasn't doing nothing stupid or foolish,
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes these players, they get these fast cars and, they want to, drive like they're on the Indy 500 or something like that.
Gene Rice.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I was just hoping it wasn't nothing foolish, but then when I saw what it actually was, man, it was sad to see because, this is something that goes on in this country far too often, and it's not talked about enough. And then when it is talked about, we talk about it for a day or two, get swept under the rug, and it's, back to the normal BS we deal with on a daily. So, like I said, it's sad to see. The body cam is foul. Like all them cops, like I don't, no way to keep their jobs. So I know they're gonna sue the hell out that damn police company too. So, but yeah, like I said, it was tough to see, man. But I'm glad that they let him go. He was able to go out, have a good game, and all that jazz.
Had a great game.
We just got to do better, man. We just got to do better.
Real.
Shit is too old, man. We've been dealing with this shit for generations, bro. It's so old, and I haven't even had a chance to watch the video footage. But from my understanding, he was speeding to the facility for the game, correct?
I don't even think he was speeding.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he was speeding.
What was he pulled over for?
And that's what everybody's trying to figure out. What was he pulling over for? And I'm thinking maybe because they didn't say it yet. I'm not sure. They may have came out and said he might have been speeding, but he wasn't speeding, from my understanding. But like you said, it was a situation where if you watch the video and him talking to the cops, they escalated that. They brought the level up than where it didn't need to be because they felt like their authority wasn't being respected.
Yeah.
And you see the video, he rolled down the window, he was talking to the police officer, he handed him a license, then he rolled the window back up. And the officer wanted him to roll the window back down. From my understanding, once you hand them the license and they run it, I don't need to talk to you. Honestly, I didn't have to talk to you at all. I could just put my license up. From what I've seen, I can put my information up against the window and you could take it from there. So the fact that he didn't roll his window down, didn't cooperate, upset the cops where they reaching in and yanking him out the car and throwing him on the ground, and then arrested him. And then he's telling them when they're about to put him on the curb, they tell him, well, sit down. Like, wait a second, I just had surgery on my knee. Take it easy. Yeah. And they, pulling him down and everything and just being extra aggressive. And then, the other players came along too, and they was coming out to check on him. And of course, Calais Campbell got handcuffed too. Odell Beckham was there. And all these other players, they were trying to see what was going on. So the situation was getting more escalated, which if you deploy everybody, go ahead. They got the video. Watch the video and y'all gonna be able to see, like, come on now. It's a tough watch, but I'm glad that Tyreek Hill handled it the way that he did. He didn't go on to no tirade afterwards. He was upset, they were saying, because Calais Campbell was on First Take this morning. He was saying that he was upset that he wasn't even going to play in the game. But, they talked with him, they got him on, and then he had a hell of a game. And then after the game, he was saying, listen, just let bygones be bygones. He tried to brush it under there, but obviously, no, folks is not going to let this rest because it's a bad look. It's a bad look. So I deplore you guys. Go ahead and watch that video. There's going to be multiple ones. And, you can base your opinion on that. And, it's just a sad situation, man.
Wait, did Tyreek do a handcuff celebration in the game? Did he
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. But hey, you got it. Listen, he making lemonade out of lemons in that situation, man. So shout out to him for making fun of a definite situation that could have turned, had a turn for the worse, but it didn't. Yeah. But more to come with that situation. But I definitely wanted to shout out for that. In the meantime, of course, I know it's been a couple of days, but we don't duck smoke around here. So we gotta talk about it, maybe briefly, maybe not. But our national champion, undefeated national champion, 3-time Big Ten champion, Michigan Wolverines, Saturday just
that ain't it
at all, man. They had Michigan for Texas. It was a high caliber game. One of the games of the week was the game of the week, and well, I would have to say we might have to have a bye year this year because it's a lot that need to work on, and it's a dose of reality for us. Just for the simple fact that we had to realize, listen, we lost 18 guys to the draft. We lost our coaching staff to the NFL. We got a whole new starting offense except for one guy, and then we got new quarterbacks or quarterback or whatever the quarterback situation is at the helm with the rookie head coach and a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. With all that going on, it's a lot that needs to be meshed, and we just wasn't ready to handle what Texas was bringing. And Texas is a national championship contending team, and we're not. At this point, we're not even a Big Ten contending team at this point right now until we can get some things together. So I can admit that we got some work to do, but I'm not as upset as I usually am because I hate when Michigan loses to anybody. But I'm in a better state of mind because, like I said, we still national championship, and I can take that on. And listen, we still got the natty, and we got to, be real with our expectations of what we lost and what we're going through right now. So the season's not done. I'm not giving up on the season, but we got some work to do whether or not we'll be able to contend for the Big Ten championship, contend for a playoff spot or not, or like I said, we might have to succumb to a bye year to get things in order and get this quarterback situation going on. So speaking of QB situation, man, that seems to be the hot topic right now. Wise man, I want you to elaborate a little bit more on what is your feel in regards to Michigan in this quarterback situation.
Just Michigan as a whole, you just got to look at this season as a rebuild, right? Whenever you get a new head coach and you lose as much as we did, we're technically going through a rebuild right now. And it shows we're not playing ball like how we played ball last year. And again, that's a testament to the coaching staff and the players that we had. Now, with this quarterback situation, it's utterly ridiculous that, we keep, going back and forth between Orji and Warren. And it's just like, man, is Orji really that bad? To where we got this guy, he comes in and Orji was going all the way up until it was time to, play the first game. He was slated as a starting quarterback. So I don't know. I'm just like, look, if there's one guy not, doing it for you, you got to go elsewhere. You can't sit there too long because, again, the game will get out of control, just like it almost did with Fresno State when we played them. We didn't look good that game either. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking like, maybe we're going to save Orji, we should beat on these guys, But it just wasn't the case at all. I don't know. We need to figure out this quarterback situation. And then, too, it sucks because we have no explosion at wide receiver at all whatsoever. And if we do, we damn sure don't know because all Warren do is throw checkdowns. So, like I said, it's got to do something because the norm ain't working.
Definitely agree. Real, man, what's your take?
I don't like the roster at all. But at the same time, I like to live up to my name, real, and be real. Like, I don't like the roster at all. But if I'm gonna be real, then you got to understand that especially in college football, you're gonna have that turnover, and especially coming off a natty, like everybody who could have left and got paid, Players, coaches, everybody. That's why I be feeling bad for Rob Moore. I feel like Rob Moore should have went and got his coin last year because it's like now he injured and now he got to stick around through this. Like this not how he wanted to spend this season, bro. I'm pretty sure in his mind he wanted to increase his draft stock, increase his value going into the league. But now I feel like he might be, and it's tough to say that, like, but you can't ignore the fact that in reality, like, he has to be sitting at home like, shit, I should have got the fuck up out of here like everybody else. Y'all done left me here to dry. I don't like the roster outside of my boy Rashad Benny on the D-line and a couple other guys, couple pieces on both D-lines.
That's your homie?
Yeah, that's my dog. And he waited his turn, and he be showing up, too. So I ain't just saying it because that's my dog. But outside of bro, man, I just don't like the roster, but it's just understood because, like I said, everybody that could have left and went and got coin. So whether, you're a new guy or just unknown, like, everybody got to work together, cohesiveness, and it's where coach and the dean and, they got to come together and figure this thing out, man. Otherwise, we're going to go right back to how it was, pre-coach. So, yeah, so hopefully we get it together. I was just looking around like, where the hell is Connor? I heard Connor was in the
Oh, yeah, he was in the building.
Yeah, he was in the building, but
hey, Connor was down there at Mufford getting blown out, man. He was the interim head coach because the head coach actually, I believe, had a recent stroke, so he filled in his coaching duty. So shout out to Connor Stallion, but it was nothing honestly Connor Stallion did as much as everybody want to try to give him credit for what happened, which that's a different story. I get into that at a later time. It was just, for one, shout out to Texas. because they got what it takes, to win. And I always say this, and I went back, years ago when we first started the show, and I was battling with Big A, and I was telling him, I'm like, for us to be able to win on a Big Ten and a national championship level, you got to have elite quarterback play. There hasn't been a winner in the in the college football playoff that didn't have elite quarterback play. We don't have elite quarterback play. We're not going to go far at all. So we need to figure that out, because we don't have the offensive line and the run game up front no more right now. Defense is good, but they still, they only could do so much.
Yeah.
So without this quarterback situation getting addressed, we're going to be in disarray. But with that being said, we got our guy DC popping in for a quick minute. As soon as we started talking Michigan, I know he was happy to join along as we, eat crow and, discuss our Michigan Wolverines. Our guy DC, he's a Spartan guy. And of course, they went 2-0 this weekend, getting past Maryland. So I'm going to go ahead and let you get your take if you want to. But you see, he's in his Lions gear. So before you go into, if you want to get your little Michigan little praise on and talk about state, go ahead and give your take about, what your experience was yesterday with the Lions.
Man, the experience yesterday, man, just sitting there watching, it would just make me, make me a little nervous, man, yesterday of those guys, man. Like I said, all the guys, they didn't play a preseason game, and, they came out, rusty. So, they came out, the play calling, the offense, even the defense at times, they just didn't look right in the beginning. And then once they got going, later on in the fourth quarter and in overtime, that was it. It showed who was the better team. The Rams, got to give them credit. They came out, and in the second half, they did not quit. But we end up counter that, to show we was the better team, and that's why we end up winning that game. They was losing bodies. They lost their key players.
Yeah, they did.
We end up took advantage of that. We should have beat the Rams way more than should have been. We let the Rams off the hook in that second half. We let them off the hook. With Terrion Arnold, I know the pass interference calls and opening the end zone. That's how the Rams was able to get those touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
That was able to, because otherwise we could have opened this thing up big time. With the drop interception from Branch, with the drop interception from Carlton Davis, we could have got more sacks from Hutch and Davenport. Stafford was just, how he was in his career. How he was able to escape out of the pocket. He ain't the fastest in the world. We all know that. But he was able to, he just made throws, he made the decision. And then, like you said, them motions, man, they was getting us with the motions, man. They was driving us crazy. But we had to get back to the basics. And in overtime, we ran the football and we tired them out. We was able to win the game. There's some things we got to clean up going into next week against Tampa. I'm not too much worried about Tampa. Yeah, they beat Washington, the Commanders, but we're going to take care of Tampa next week. But we got to clean up the things. You got to take care of the ball. Jared Goff cannot stare down St. Brown like that. So when that interception through, he can't do that.
It was a late pass. Like, he shouldn't have never threw that ball.
No. Exactly. So got some stuff to clean up, of course, in which, like I said, being that, like I said, these guys hadn't played in over a month for real. It showed. But going over to the college side, DC. Yeah, your Spartans was victorious yesterday. They starting out the season 2-0. So since they're 2-0, I'm gonna go ahead and let you get 2 minutes.
There you go.
Go ahead and discuss.
There you go. Every time. Listen.
And your time starts now.
Yeah. Okay. No, you know what? I'm gonna switch it up right quick, man. We'll talk about y'all Michigan right quick, man.
Oh yeah.
So, all seriousness, man, Michigan just ran to a better team, man. They just ran to a better team, Texas, and Texas just, they just hit them in the mouth early, man. It just the offense of Michigan, man. It just looked.
It's terrible. You can say it. You can say
terrible.
We
and it's like the play calling. The play calling was terrible. Y'all quarterback is terrible. And then you put Alex Orji, it's like you're putting him in the game, and it's like the defense, everybody knows what he's going to do. Everybody knows. It's predictable. The Michigan offense is very predictable. You got to come with play. You got to play better than that. Yeah, I know y'all going to beat Arkansas State next week. Y'all should beat them down bad. Y'all should. But y'all, after that, y'all got USC. I think USC coming up in a couple weeks. And USC, the way they play, come on now.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, we gotta get it together. But Michigan State got y'all got
Aiden Childs
coming up.
Aiden Childs.
Yeah. Well, for me with him, I see the potential. But because the inexperience is showing, when he played too. So you see the upside, but you see the inexperience. So I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about your team. You got a minute and 15 seconds.
Yeah, whatever, man. Look, just right quick, man. Look, Michigan State, and I said it on my show last week. He had a terrible game when they played Florida Atlantic. And I expect him to play better against Maryland. Maryland is a good team. You can't sleep on Maryland. But Michigan State knew they had to play smarter football, even though it was some penalties, things just getting on my damn nerves again. And it was turnovers. Aiden Childs threw 3 picks. He threw 3 touchdowns, but they gotta clean up those turnovers. And just fortunate we won the game. Hit the game-winning field goal. Aiden Childs played better than he played in the first game. I expect him to play a lot. I expect him to continue to progress to get better. So we're gonna go 3-0, and y'all go 2-1. And looking forward to October. Man, come on, bro.
Hey,
come on, bro. Come on, bro.
I had to do it just so y'all can have that memory going back for us. So we're gonna see what's coming on. So I'm like I said, I'm hoping and praying for you, like I said, that Michigan be able to clean up some things. Also, Jack Tuttle, that's another name we need to be looking out for. He's looking like he may be back now in that quarterback situation, as well as the redshirt freshman that we got there too. So we're going to see, but like I said, it might be a bye year for us Wolverines fans. But anyway, listen, we had another great show here today, fellas. And I'm looking forward to the season upcoming, not just for college, NFL, but we're close to coming to the NBA as well. So we're going to be discussing that also. So we're looking forward to that, man. And once again, Wise Man, get some shout outs, bro.
Again, shout out to everybody that's rocking with us. Shout out to our guy Breed, our guy Alex, everybody that's just rocking with us today, man. Everybody that's in the comments, chatting and everything like that, man. If you're at home just kicking it, whatever, man. We definitely appreciate y'all for hanging out with us today, as always.
Of course, man. Definitely appreciate it. So with that being said, we're gonna give some final thoughts. It's real. Go ahead, give your final thoughts for the night, brother.
I'm just happy football is back, man. I'm happy our Lions have finally got one under the belt, man. The first of many. I'm interested to see where this season takes us. I feel like this entire season need to be documented. It's something special that's brewing. The only thing I don't like is the rest of the world on the bandwagon, but I guess it is what it is, man. We are no longer a Cinderella story, man. We are at the top of the hill. We are at the head of the heap. We are the hunted for once in our lifetime. and it's going to be interesting to see how we deal with that, with the adversities. I keep saying, man, the theme of this season is going to be adversity, man.
Yep.
We did everything a team could imagine to have done last season, but we did it with the easy schedule. This time, the big dogs is on our schedule. We going to people's houses. We going to Dallas. We walking into Houston. We got big games, man, against big teams, bro, and it's gonna be about adversity. And I'm a firm believer that we might take us a half a step backwards, take a few steps forward, and win that chip. But I just think, man, this season need to be documented, man. So we need to keep the cameras rolling. We need to add more shows. We need to really, live in the moment for sure. We need to stay in this moment
and let the people see us living in the moment too.
Document this moment forever, bro.
Absolutely.
Most definitely. DC.
I want to say this right quick, man. That's another sports team I got to talk about, man. I got to say, you got to Detroit Tigers, man. And
Shout
I got
out
to talk about
Tigers,
Detroit
man.
Tigers, man. They are 3.5 games back for the last wild card spot. If the Tigers keep playing the way they playing, we're talking Tigers can make the playoffs and they can make some noise. They can make some noise. Did you know baseball is unpredictable? We don't know who could go win the World Series and all that. If the Detroit Tigers make the playoffs, this whole city, now from the way they started, not only our Detroit Lions, our Detroit Tigers could make the playoffs. Anything could happen. Will I be surprised if Detroit Tigers make the World Series the way how they play? I won't be surprised. I hope so in a few years, couple years. But you got to get a shout out to the Tigers, man, right quick, man. So hopefully they can continue to make this run and end up, we could get into the playoffs, man. And, hopefully we could possibly make a run for the World Series. But for the Lions, we got the win. Y'all guys was down there, y'all, your experience, y'all was down there, and I seen the clips and stuff, man. Y'all did your thing, man. So, but Lions, with the good win, started 1-0. We didn't want to go 0-1, be with Green Bay in our division and Minnesota and in Chicago. Chicago shouldn't even won that game. Tennessee gave them that game. Gave them that game, but. Yeah. And the Giants was so terrible, and it's easy why Minnesota won. But the good start, we got Tampa Bay coming up next week. Got some things got to clean up from game 1, going into game 2, and I'm just set the Lions to go out and take care of business against Tampa, and then going to week 3, take care of business against Arizona. Even though Arizona gave Buffalo a scare yesterday, but we can't take those type of teams lightly. We got to continue to stay the course. We got to continue. Teams gonna give us a dog fight. The Rams gave us a dog fight. I expect Tampa's gonna give us a dog fight. Arizona's gonna give us a dog fight. So, that's my final thoughts on that, man.
I appreciate you, DC. What a great time to be alive. Wise man, go ahead and get your final thoughts, bro.
Just real quick, man. Just looking forward to what the Lions is gonna do. I want to see how we get over the edge. And look a little sharper next week. So just looking forward to seeing what that that's going to be like. We already know what Michigan is going to do, and I want to see my Seminoles get back on track too, man. If that's possible.
I'm gonna say this. The ACC is not that great. Now the only way the Seminoles can get back in it, they got to win the rest of their games. If they more games.
Yeah, if they run the table, yeah, because like I said, they got some ranked opponents on their schedule, but. That's only if they run the table, man. But this ain't a Seminole channel, so you only get 10 seconds of them. But anyway, listen. We want to see this thing grow, and we're asking, our peoples that rock with us, help us make this thing grow. So we're outside, we're at these games, we're in the community, we're here every week for y'all, but we need this thing to grow, get big, man, and make this thing huge, man. Dynasty Sports Network needs to be on a lot of people's lips, pause. So I'm asking, for our peoples, man, listen.
Put the DSG on your lip.
Put it. Go ahead, man. Give some shout outs, man. Go ahead and spread the word. You know, you got family, you got friends that's into the sports that we into the sports. Bring them on over, man, and let them partake in what we got going on here, man. So this thing can grow and be as fun and be as big as it can be. And with y'all being a part of it, you know, we're gonna make sure that we return the favor and make sure we look out for you guys as well. Because you know, like I said, we didn't did raffles, we didn't give away some good prizes, but I want to do that again. But in order for us to do that again, we got to make sure to get this thing to grow. So I'm asking for our people to go ahead and spread the word, man. All it takes is, hey, listen, go ahead to these fellas' YouTube channel, go ahead, subscribe, let them get they weight up, you know, so we can, you know, see and get this thing big. And we definitely appreciate it. With that being said, listen, like I said, I had another great show. It's getting late. I know folks got to get ready for work, get the kids ready for school tomorrow. So I will say this, please be safe. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family. Dynasty Sports Network. We out till next
Go
week.
Lions.
Go Lions.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Yeah.